You know, I'm just going to shoot for a Frank 3-1 here.
I think it's 3-1 too, but I think it's probably going to CFO. Frank, I think, are good enough to get a game across the line. Honestly, it could just be this one.
Yeah,
it feels like their draft is just better.
Yeah, it feels like CFO should lose this game off of draft. We'll see what they have planned. I mean, Karsa has 2 lanes he can gank.
Yeah.
Terrifying to be against Silas Sejuani or Renekton.
He does have 2 lanes he can gank, but unfortunately those 2 lanes are also just an Ahri and a Jax, who are possibly 2 of the safer champions in their given roles.
Yeah, any gank on the Ahri is probably going to have to be happening pre-6. First strike on Ahri.
Yeah, different.
Rather than electrocute.
I think it makes sense, right? You're pretty much always going to be proccing it. Kind of surprised to see Gory with the first strike, although it does get quite a lot of value later on in the game where most of the time you're able to find that sort of impact. You see, though, we haven't really seen a lot of Silas. It's kind of, I like seeing champs like, oh, the synergy.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. They're
yeah,
on
no,
form.
That's crazy. Maybe it is just a 3-0 for Frank. You're going to see CFO bumping fists.
Gemini grabs that ward early. Pretty nice.
+8.
Which means it's going to be harder to keep track of what exactly he decides to do after he does his Raptors. Usually it is just red Krugs back down to bot side.
Yeah.
But we'll at least be able to keep Karsa guessing.
Oh, nice quill there from Sorda.
Yeah, mid lane going about how you'd expect.
Yeah.
Jimmy and Landon some poke, and Gory not all that phased. Should have D-shield. I didn't actually check, but...
Yeah, Gory does. I didn't see the runes from top, but I imagine it was Grasp versus Conqueror, obviously, and then it should be secondary for Renekton with the bone plating, and secondary for Jiang should be the second wind. As well as, I mean, you can go like Demolish or Overgrowth, depending on what you want to do.
Yeah, Renekton ends up kind of playing poke in this matchup, right? Gory...
Yeah, your trade pattern, because obviously you can't extend a trade versus the Jax, because all he does is press counter-strike and you're sitting there waiting for your cooldowns to come back up. But you just E forward with an empowered Q, and then E back. And at that point, you know, the empowered Q is going to do enough damage that you'll just win the trade as long as you're able to get out. But that's why you take second wind as the Jax.
So once upon a time, DRX managed to win Worlds off of the back of spamming Silas Akali into this matchup and the Azir matchup with bone plating second wind, and you could just stay in these lanes on 100, 200 HP and just forever. Essentially, that's been nerfed.
Yeah, you can't have
pretty
bone
severely.
plating and second wind.
Oh, sorry, second wind and D-shield. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, no, that was 2022, and I think like pretty much as Worlds started, like the patch after the Worlds was on, I think was the nerfs to second wind and Doran Shield in the early stages of the game. It is still pretty fine, but yeah, you're going to see it's a noticeable difference in strength for the Silas, as well as just the Silas build again is a whole lot less tanky than it used to be. So you're going to suffer for longer.
Yeah, and I mean, these HP differences are definitely more significant these days, just because he definitely can die from this HP.
Yeah, one charm landing from Jimmy and Gory is most likely getting taken down.
Is it always the first strike on Silas?
Yeah, well, I mean, you can go electrocute, but generally it's first strike.
I guess it's more for later in the game than for lane phase.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you're not really proccing it against Ahri.
And this is kind of where you want to be on the Silas. The Ahri is running out of mana, but 2 biscuits still left for Jimmy and Karsa.
Value.
Yeah. Vision on Karsa.
Oh, Charm does connect, but Jimmy is out of mana now, so is Gory. Jimmy going to pop his bickies, push this lane out, force Gory to teleport back.
Yeah, and honestly, so far, Gory is succeeding in this lane. He's keeping up in CS. Going to catch most of this off of the TP.
Okay. Also goes for the Lucidity boots.
Yeah, I guess it's going to let him spam his spells and dodge out of some skill shots. Karsa starting up the Void Grubs. Yeah, should be fine. Traded for the dragon.
Yeah, I like that as Frank.
I think he might have known Frank were on the dragon first. So he's gone for the Void Grubs. I mean, almost guaranteed these with the Renekton locked in. So hard to fight into a Renekton at level 6.
Oh my god. Look at Jiang's item.
Oh no, what is that? Is he...
That is a catalyst.
Yeah.
That only builds into Abyssal Mask, I believe.
Yeah, and Roa.
Or Rod of Ages.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen the boss play AP Jax. It looked cool in solo queue.
What the... Oh,
Like, I guess it's
is a
Abyssal?
chef. No way. There's no way you rush Abyssal Mask on Jax. This is going to be a Roa.
Yeah, like...
There is
yeah.
no way you're ever
Yeah.
rushing Abyssal Mask.
Yeah, I mean, I could buy it if the Catalyst was later in the game. I haven't read the Abyssal Mask item in a while because no one builds that thing.
I think it's still the...
Flat MR.
It takes away
Yeah.
flat MR from people around you.
Karsa's level 6.
Oh, nice dodge out of that Glacial Prison.
Yeah, very
That's
close
very,
goal
very
for
close.
Jimmy. Loses his ult, though. And Gory's got an Ahri ult of his own. So, quite a bit of kill pressure in mid.
Yeah, still has Flash. He should be fine. Oh, I just want this game to progress so I can see what Jiang is cooking up here.
Yeah.
This is unconventional, I think is a pretty apt word.
Yeah, and it is so surprising just because... I mean, you don't mind Ahri being solo AP. You're probably pretty happy with that.
Yeah, especially after how Jimmy was playing.
All right, we'll see it. The lane state's actually Jiang pulling ahead in CS a little bit. I'm sure there's a wave for Rest to farm.
Oh, and then, yeah, Rest actually popping the Dominus for that Grandmaster's Might. It shouldn't really turn into much.
Yeah.
Both are just too healthy. But here comes Karsa. Jiang, you are in a world of trouble here. Arctic Assault lands. Will land absolutely everything. Counter-Strike coming through, though, and Jiang is actually going to be able to wander his way out of there. And honestly, didn't even lose that much health at all.
Yeah, and gets his wave in, importantly. Karsa now walking towards Jimmy and no... Oh, Gemini, sorry. Jimmy and no ulti.
Yeah, Karsa also does not have his ultimate yet.
Oh.
Down comes a lightning crash, and forward will come Shun. Nice stun there from Kaiwing, but Shun going to have just enough damage there to take out that kill for first blood. It's going to be CFO in the bot lane, striking first.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see the Zeri Rakan having enough damage to take down the Rel.
That roll. Oh, no way this works, right?
3v2. I mean,
Renekton no ult. Karsa still no ult.
yeah, whoever ends up with tower aggro is just eating a vial at the end of the day. Sejuani can tank the tower up for a bit, but... yeah, they decide to not go ahead with the dive. Also, less inclined to go for a risky dive when your bot lane just 2v2 killed.
And Karsa's hanging around. This dive might still be on, although now he is wandering back. And Jiang has been playing respectful enough to kind of disallow anything from truly
what
happening.
happened to Kaiwing? Oh, wow. Sword Art appearing out of nowhere, and Kaiwing mistiming his Rel W.
Yeah, getting a little bit greedy as well, maybe, with the flash. Just possibly needed to flash the grand entrance first, but ultimately does not. Will go down. Jiang also did eventually get taken out by this dive.
Yeah, okay. Early game
Rod of
behind.
Ages.
Almost 2k gold lead all of a sudden for CFO. And this type of draft from CFO can definitely just run away with the game if they get these kind of leads. Eclipse now on the Renekton.
We'll see.
Karsa probably has ult back.
Yeah, ult's back up at this stage, and I assume he just... It's actually Jiang trying to trade aggressively and just absolutely pays the price. Even loses the flash, so does Rest, and that was a lot less clean than it looked like it was going to be at the start.
Yeah, tanky Roa Jax. Gets Rest Flash as well. Karsa's ulti on cooldown now. Gemini actually not able to find any angle into this game yet.
Yeah, and it is going to be the Lich Bane first here for Gory on the Silas too.
Yeah, that could definitely be a target for this Vi. I feel like he must just go down to any Vi ulti.
Yeah, it does feel like it, right? Not going to be all that tanky. Malignant's completed down for Jimmy, and so Probably need to look for him to try roam around the map and try make things happen for the side of Frank, as they are slowly but surely falling further and further behind. Nice dodge out of those chains there for Jimian. As Gemini's in the area, it is going to be Spirit Rush available for Gory on the Vi, but everything's coming down here onto Castle. He's stunned up, he flashes. Spirit Rush has been used, but through comes that cease and desist. Gory going to pop the Spirit Rush. It's going to be Jimian now who is in trouble from Sword Art, but eventually everyone does get out. Low health bars, but no one going down. And Frank, they are headed down into this dragon. Castle pretty low, and especially when compared to Gemini. But Jimian, he might have to look for a recall and teleport back if they truly want to contest this.
Yeah, should be second drag going over to Frank, though they seem a little bit hesitant just pulling it out. And very unfortunate fight for Frank. Jimian actually misses the Ari charm off of the Rel ulti.
Yeah.
And then doesn't have it up when the Vi ults. So, bit of a bad coordination from Frank there. Probably cost them a kill in that fight, at least a kill.
Sure, now, it is going to be that static shiv completed for Shun on the Zeri. We'll have to look to see when Eminem can get Kraken Slayer done. Did just recall, didn't have enough gold, so
yeah,
possibly
very
going to want to stay in lane until that item can be picked up. Now, attention back towards this top side. Kasa still reasonably low, but Rest playing aggressively, and he's going to be looked on. Through will come Kasa. Kaiwing's here, Sword Art's here. It's a 3v3 up in the top side. Jung going to jump through. He has that Counter-Strike popping. He does get it onto both Rest and Kasa. Kasa's low, Rest is low, but everything coming around and turning back. It's going to be Kaiwing going down first. Jung does have to use that leap strike to get away. Gemini as well using the flash. Through comes Jiang once again. Nice stun. They're going to find one kill perhaps. No, the triple kill. It is going to be returned. One Color League, 2 kills, and Rest is 4-0 on the Croc in the top.
Yes, CFO outplay the 3v3 under the enemy turret. That is going to be a massive crocodile now for Jiang to deal with in the side lane. And I think, again, it comes down to a slight misexecution. I think Gemini misses that, but Kaiwing needs to be going on to Rest here rather than Karsa. I think he was trying to hit both with the crash down, but ends up only hitting the Sejuani, who you can't really focus in this fight. And then so much crowd control comes back once they don't cleanly pick up a kill on that first engage.
I can't believe how close this was. Sword Art getting away just...
Yeah, Karsa, I thought Karsa was going to live too.
Yeah, I thought Triumph had done it as well, but not quite. And now it is a 4-0 Croc, it's a 1-0 Zeri. And all you have to show for it really is this one kill for Jiang. He's got his Rod of Ages now completed, so we'll see what effectiveness that has. I do feel like he's not going to be anywhere nearly as strong as this Crocodile, who is currently sitting atop the leaderboard in terms of gold. Not really all that surprising,
and
considering.
Talking about this matchup, the Jax does outscale as items come in. That's going to be so far away now.
Yeah.
The point where it outscales, when you've got 4 kills on the Renekton, that, you know, realistically, we might just not see it this game.
For sure. It is Frank with 2 dragons, though, so they're definitely going to be able to extend the timer on this game if they wanted to try and play it slow. There's a reasonable amount of wave care, of course. You have the Zai, you have the Ari.
Now, I feel like Karsa has had his first item completed for so much longer than Gemini.
Yeah, it is extremely cheap, though.
Yeah. And 2 towers going down at the same time, both sides of Frank just kind of collapsing.
Yeah, Eminem doing respectable for himself.
Yeah, was just that one early death by Kaiwing.
Yeah.
So Rift Herald almost certainly going down for CFO. Hard to justify taking any fight anywhere near this Renekton. And if you're Frank, you're probably just trying to kill this Sylas, I guess. He has no flash now. We've got to get some Vials with numbers advantage. It doesn't feel like Frank have had numbers advantage at just about any fight. Somehow Sword Art and Karsa are just there to match every play.
Yeah, it has been pretty much 3v3s, right? Just everywhere.
All across the map.
Except for the bot lane, which was just a 2v2 kill found. And that's what's led Shun to being as strong as he has become. Although, if you are the side of Frank, now is a pretty reasonable time to look for a fight despite being behind, because you have all your first items, and there aren't any second items yet through for CFO, and so the relative power between now and maybe in 2-3 minutes time where the second items come through and you're at 1.5 for Frank is, it's a lot better odds right now to look for the fight. And luckily for them, it is going to be the dragons spawning, so they can choose to fight for it. They don't have to. They are up 2-0 in terms of that dragon score. Wouldn't be surprised, however, to see them look for it, as it is just, their team comp that is reasonably strong as things stand, despite the goal discrepancy.
Yeah, it's a bit scary fighting into this Renekton right now.
Yeah.
So I think you can pretty safely just not take this fight if you're Frank. There's the TP coming out from Gory to the bot side. And if not taking this fight means you get some farm on this Jax, you get some farm on the Ahri as well. And CFO can't do anything to your mid lane. They do have Rift Herald, which you have to be mindful of. 2 items now finished on Russ.
Yeah, and Frank are going to just be giving over this dragon to the side of CFO. Not really too surprising. Again, they got the 2 first ones of the game, so they have bought themselves a considerable amount of time. And that time they're definitely going to need as they find themselves down 5k gold across the Rift.
Yeah, at 16 minutes, this is going to be very difficult to come back from, especially since CFO have just been mechanically playing these skirmishes better so far. Level 12 Renekton with 2 items at 16 minutes is not going to make your life easy. There is no hope of even really killing in the 2v1, it feels like, if Gemini were to go top lane.
Okay, what are we building now? Triforce? Probably.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. Here's the Rift Herald, and it doesn't feel like Frank are really in position to defend this. Gemini is coming. Jimmian has TP.
Yeah, Eminem going to be able to clear out these Void Mites, the Rift Herald, and the minions. And
yeah, they hang on to their tower. That is big. If you're trying to stall out a game, holding on to your mid-tier 1 is massive.
Oh, but anti-synergy there, both popping the sweeper.
Yeah, and after the 5-way fist bump to start the game.
Yeah, not good. Ultimately, it's fine. Tomorrow, come clear this ward out. Chemtech Dragon. Well, a pretty weak dragon. I think the upgrades to the plants is extremely broken.
Yeah, they are. They can be double-edged though.
Yeah, it depends. Are you DCG?
Yeah.
Because in which case, you're a karma that blast cones into the middle of 5 people.
It happened again as well.
Yeah, it was tied the next time.
Yeah, it was tied.
Yeah, he's playing center right, and he queued and hit the blast cone he was standing on, and then got thrown into the middle of... I don't even remember what team now. Was it Ground Zero? I'm feeling it was against Ground Zero, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, it might have been DFM. I can't remember either.
Yeah.
Jimmian is up to his usual antics this game. Just run into side lanes, catching farm, but the problem this game is that Gory and Shun are ahead of him in terms of farm. So it's not going to be as easy for him to take over a game.
And with the 6 Void Grubs, this tower in the mid lane is probably not long for the world, as Eminem and Gory are just duking it out in the bot lane. Flash does come through, and Jimmian does go down. That's a solo bolo, and Gory getting the better of this matchup in this game.
Yeah, the Sylas counter pick working out in the side lane. And yeah, I'm surprised we haven't found a way for Vi to get onto the Sylas all game. Should be so vulnerable when he's just got a Lich Bane. But CFO have done a good job protecting him and controlling vision in both sides of the enemy jungle. As I say that, they recall on a ward. So we're going to see what happened in the 1v1 here. Gory has stolen the Ariel. And Jimmian lands a nice charm there, but I guess he just gets hit by the Sylas chains? No. Doesn't even eat the Sylas chain. Well, he eats the second chain, but...
Yeah, I think as soon as you get hit by one of them, though, you're pretty doomed.
Yeah, so that feels like a really bad matchup for the Ahri. If you can land the charm and dodge the chain, and the fight was even at that point, get hit by the second chain, just go down and it not even look close.
Yeah. It was down like half an item, so it's all right. as it looks like he'll be very close to now finishing up his Leandries. And Jiang in the top side gets the Triforce. So Jax now should have quite a bit of power. Probably not quite as much as the 4-0 Renekton that we're seeing from Rest, but certainly can come into his own if anyone really on the side of CFO are left alone with him. He will be able to take them out almost certainly. Kaiwing, you get hit up by that Arctic Assault, but it's not going to be all that impactful as he's able to just lose a couple bits of health and walk on out.
Yeah, look at the control in this topside jungle for CFO. Wards all over, clearing enemy vision as well.
Oh, Jiang's going to have to flash away. Just trying to trade back. Does have that counter-strike available, and with that, may be able to get out the flash over to the blast cone. Leap strike even, as he is going to just get taken out. This Renekton, beyond scary now at this stage of the game, is somehow taking out Jax with ease in that solo lane.
Yeah, under his turret as well. Carson may be in trouble.
Yeah, he's going to have to flash away. Nice charm from Jimmy and a nice follow-up coming through from Kaiwing and Eminem means that this Sejuani is in peril and does get himself out of that situation. But, I mean, all things considered, 7-1, 7,000 gold lead for CFO. They've got enough Baron damage if they choose to go do it. They've got enough tankiness to tank it up, and I feel like now it's really just putting the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, and it feels like they've been doing a really good job of isolating the bot lane, drawing all of Frank's attention over to the Baron, threatening to do the Baron or siege the top tier 2, not overcommitting to it, and then allowing their solo laners, who are much stronger in this side lane, to tower dive their opponents.
Yeah, for sure.
At this point in the game, if you're Frank, maybe you have a chance of the Ahri having more impact than the Sylas.
Yeah,
in a 5v5, but solo lane sucks for Ahri. You
definitely need to have the Leandries finish, and luckily as well, Eminem did just finish that Navori, so Xayah a lot stronger now, kind of still needs to get that LDR online to have real teamfight impact, but
yeah.
Well, I'm sure you'll be able to get it. This game doesn't feel like it's that close to ending, unless CFO get a Baron and win a fight, maybe it ends quickly, but other than that, I mean, Dragon...
I mean, this is a pretty good Xayah game, if I've ever seen one. 4 melee champions on the enemy team.
Yeah, exactly. And so if he does get to LDR, I think CFO do have to start being quite scared of the Xayah. But until then, hold up, chain connects. Spirit Rush taken here, and Jimmy does go aggressively, but
yeah,
this will be the top tower.
Yeah, that's going to be top tier 2, definitely gone. Jimmy, with no ult now, is under a lot of pressure. As long as Gemini and...
Quickness. Grand Entrance is going to come through. Lands onto 2. And Jimian does arrive, but he's got no ult. Spirit Rush. It's going to be his ult used by Gory as Kaiwing trying to peel for his team. Going to eventually have to flash away down the bot side as well. It's Rest with the ult going. Jiang as well. And nothing's going to become of it. It's a fairly even trade for them, but the one kill found. Gemini does go down to the skirmish up in the topside jungle as they too now start the Baron up.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Frank are even going to be contesting it. They might not even know it's happening. And what can you do there if you're Frank? You've lost your Ahri ult, so you're weaker in a game you're already behind, but you have to walk into your jungle to contest this vision and stop the Baron from being started. It's just going to be a free Baron for CFO now.
Sure will. Putting the final touches on that, and they will. So now the gold has ballooned once more to a 10k gold lead. They have the Baron now to start working away at the base of Frank Esports. Eminem, he's still strong. Jimmy now having that 2-item spike, but still, the rift is looking pretty bleak.
Yeah.
If you're a Frank supporter, as things stand.
Eminem pretty strong, but he's still an item behind Shun.
Yeah.
On the Zeri. 2 levels down in the ADC role, and he is the least behind of his teammates.
Yeah, he's recall. Oh, no, he cancels his recall. I think he actually might be close. He's been just sitting on these 2 items without recalling, clearing waves for a while. Yeah, I'm sure he has the last whisper at least.
Yeah, it's going to take a miracle from Eminem.
Yeah, Grand Entrance lands here. It is onto Gemini and Kaiwing, and they're not going to be taken out. Arctic Assault now from Casa, and while you are very strong, a choke like that is a perfect place for a champion like Xayah to fight in, so it's best not to overforce.
Corey's almost taken this tower on his own. Lichbane and the 6 Void Grubs.
Yeah.
Almost instantly kill it.
He's ridiculous at this stage. Really want to see Eminem get a recall off, but with Baron going, it doesn't feel all that possible.
Karsa's just walked through the mid-tier 2, trying to collapse on Frank in the bot lane.
Yeah, and likewise, it was Frank trying to collapse onto Rest in the top side. They won't be able to do so.
Yeah, risky move. They might lose an inhib for it.
They're going to lose the mid tower. It's another tier 2 going down in favor of CFO. All 3 now taken by them. Inhibitor tower as well is going to get taken out. As now the inhibitor is all that stands. And look at Gory's damage to this inhibitor every time he has that Lich Bane proc. Just half HP taken off. Bot lane should be going down. So base is now cracked open for the side of CFO. They've got their way in now as they are continuing on to push. It looks like Eminem does get his recall off. I don't know what items he'll have as of right now. I think if he does have that LDR, could be a very, very important item spike. Something that maybe can get them across the line, but it's going to be so hard. In will go Gemini onto Karsa. Karsa actually getting chunked out pretty low HP, and nice charm lands. They are all going in, but they're on the Sejuani. It's a Magnet Storm onto 3. Eminem's got it all to do, but it's going to be a triple kill here for Shun. It's going to be a triple, not a quadra. The last kill was found, as it's going to be Eminem almost turning that one around. Quadra eventually comes through for Eminem. Rest on the croc, gets the other one, but it is going to be ultimately CFO taking game number 1 in very dominant fashion.
Yeah, little scary team fight at the end there, but Eminem can't quite get it done. They should be able to end. 10 seconds still on Kaiwing. Yeah, it should just be over now. And yeah, I mean, completely dominant from CFO. That just looked frustrating for Frank that entire time. They just couldn't do anything. It felt like CFO got a massive lead, pushed every lane at the same time. Karsa and Sword Art were just standing around in their faces, almost taunting them to go,